Good morning, Year 4. How are you? Welcome to today's geography lesson. In today's lesson, like with science and history this week, we are not learning any new information. But what we are doing is we're revising and going over that learning that we have worked so hard to learn all about the Amazon rainforest. So today's lesson is going to be in the form of a quiz. We are going to work through the quiz, but I'm going to give you many opportunities throughout the video to pause the video and write down your answer. What you will need for this lesson is your geography resource for today, which has your quiz on it. I think there are around 16 questions. They are all on my slide too. So what we're going to do is I'm going to read the question out loud, give you some time to think about it. We're going to discuss what the question is asking you. Then you're going to pause the video, write down the answer, and then I'm going to go through the correct answer. However, I need to trust you. Can I trust you? I thought so. I need to trust that you're not going to just copy my answers that I'm bringing up on the slide, because you're going to write down your answer before I bring up my answer, and then you'll mark it, okay? But don't forget, when you hand these in to me, I will know if you've just copied my answer, okay? So I hope you are going to be honest, because I need to know what you know. All right, so have your resource in front of you. Pause the video now if you need to go and get it. Super, let's have a look at the first question then. Your first question is, what is the name of the world's largest rainforest? I don't think this one needs much explaining, so pause the video, write down your answer now, please. Okay, so the world's largest rainforest is the rainforest that we are learning about at the moment, the Amazon rainforest. Okay, question number 2. Name the 4 types of forest that are found across the globe. And I've been really kind to you. I've given you a picture of the 4 different types of forests just to jog your memory, okay? Think about what each of the pictures are showing you, and then pause your video now and write down what the 4 types of forests are, please. Off you go. Okay, so let's have a look at this top left picture. Well, we can see there's lots of trees and there's leaves on the ground. And we know that when trees lose their leaves, they are called deciduous trees. So this is a temperate deciduous forest. Don't worry if you haven't got them in the right order, as long as you've got all 4 of them at some point as well. Moving along to the top right, this time I can see lots more trees. The trees are very thin, they're very tall. I can see lots of smooth bark on them, and the leaves are on the trees still. What do we call those trees that keep their leaves all year round? That's right, coniferous trees, and this is a temperate coniferous forest. In the bottom left then we can see there is a different weather and different climate here. The climate is snowy, frosty. There are some coniferous trees there because they are pointy. This is a boreal forest. And finally we have the tropical rainforest, which is what we're looking at the moment. Okay. What is the difference between deciduous and coniferous trees? Pause the video, write your answer down please. Off you go. Okay, I didn't want to explain that one too much because we just spoke about it there. So, deciduous trees have broad, flat leaves which fall out seasonally, whereas coniferous trees have small, needle-like leaves which don't fall out. If you haven't mentioned about their types of leaves, that doesn't matter. The main point that you need to have written down to get the mark for this question is that you need to write down that deciduous trees have leaves which fall out seasonally. Coniferous trees are trees where their leaves do not fall out. Okay, question number 4. What is the name of the 2 tropics that most tropical rainforests lie between? Pause the video, write your answer down please. Okay, so if you think we've got this imaginary line in the middle of the world, what was that line called? That's right, that was called the equator. Now, most tropical rainforests lie between this tropic and this tropic. The top tropic is known as the Tropic of Cancer, and the bottom tropic is the Tropics of Capricorn. Well done if you got that right. Question number 5. What 3 continents are most tropical rainforests located in? And again, I've given you a clue here. I've given you a map. So all you need to do is locate this continent, write it down. This continent, write it down. This continent, write it down. I'll give you a clue. One of the continents is where the Amazon rainforest is. Where is the Amazon rainforest? Pause the video and write down 3 continents. Remember, they are not countries, so you can't say the Amazon rainforest is not a continent. It's not even a country, okay? Pause the video now, write down the 3 continents, please. All right, so the bottom left here, if you remember, we have North America and South America. South America is where the Amazon rainforest is. It's also where Manaus is, where our children in the book, The Explorer, are trying to go. This continent over here is Africa. And do you know where this is? That's right, that's Europe. We are somewhere around here in Birmingham. Well, I'm in Worcester. And finally, this one here is Asia. And well done if you got those right. Okay, number 6. Give a definition for the word precipitation. So what is precipitation? I'll give you a clue. Think of a cloud, and that's your clue. Think of a cloud. Write down a definition for the word precipitation. Pause the video, please. Okay, precipitation is to do with a cloud because it's the water that's released from the clouds in the form of rain, sleet, snow, or hail. Now you can give yourself a mark if you've done at least 2 examples, such as rain and snow or rain and hail. And you must say that it's water that's released from the clouds and it changes according to the weather. So if it's really, really, really freezing, it will turn into snow, which is why we've had a lot of snow recently. Okay, question number 7. What is the difference between weather and climate? So I might say to you, oh, year 4, the weather is so cloudy today. But then the next day I might say, oh, year 4, it's so sunny outside today. But then the next day I might say, oh, it's snowing today, year 4. Whereas the climate, we might say the UK has a temperate climate. So we have fairly warm, mild summers and cold winters. What is the difference between weather and climate? What did I just do there? Pause the video and write down your answer, please. Did you notice what I did there? I was explaining weather because it changes every day or most days. But the climate is the average over a period of time. So the weather reflects the short-term conditions of the atmosphere, so it might be raining today and sunny tomorrow, whereas the climate is the average daily weather for an extended period of time. So that's why we say the tropical rainforest has this climate, because over a long period of time it demonstrates that. And if you haven't got this exact wording but you've explained it along the lines, that's fine too. What is the climate in a tropical rainforest? Is it cold and dry, hot and humid, cloudy and rainy, or sunny and dry? Tick 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. 1, pause the video, tick it, off you go. Okay, well we definitely know a tropical rainforest is not cold and it's definitely not dry. It's not cloudy, but it is rainy. And it is sunny, but it's not dry. And it is hot and humid. Next one, a lot of rainfall in tropical rainforests is known as convectional rainfall. What is convectional rainfall? Tick 1. Rain doesn't fall often in a tropical rainforest. The water that falls from clouds heats up and evaporates quickly, creating rainfall again, or it rains once every week. Pause the video, tick 1, off you go. Okay, so we know that rain does fall often in a tropical rainforest and it rains more than once every week. Convectional rainfall is water that falls from clouds. It heats up and evaporates back into the clouds, creating rainfall again. Do you know why? That's right, because it's so close to the equator, it means the water cycle happens at a much faster rate, which we've learnt previously. Well done. Number 10, what is vegetation? Is it vegetables growing in the ground, the plant life of a region, or a restaurant that only sells vegetarian food? Pause the video, tick 1 please. Okay, well vegetation, we have not learnt about vegetables and we have not learnt about different restaurants, so this one was mainly given to you. It is the plant life of a region. Well done if you got that right. What are the four layers of different layers of vegetation in a tropical rainforest? So thinking about all those layers, I'm not going to explain this question to you. You are just going to write down the first layer, the second, the third, and the final, the bottom layer. We've learned this and we've talked about this a lot. Pause the video, write them down now, please. Okay, so the very, very top layer is the emergent layer, followed by the canopy, then the understory layer, and then the forest floor. Please feel free to pause the video now just to correct or mark your answers, please. If you are correcting them, please correct them in a different coloured pencil or pen, just so I know that what you put originally is what you thought, okay? Alright then, number 12. Which layer of the rainforest can grow between 40 and 80 centimetres high? Which of those layers that we just looked at? Pause the video. It is the emergent layer, because that's the area where the trees grow the tallest. They get the most sunlight, but also, do you remember, they also get the most wind. So they have to have really strong leaves, don't they? Number 13, which layer of the rainforests have trees that form a roof over the plants below? Pause video, write down your answer. How did you do? It was the canopy. Remembering the canopy is the second layer from the top. It has most of the trees and they actually form a roof over the plants and the trees and the species of animals below. Now that also means that anything below doesn't get much rain and also doesn't get much sunlight. It's quite a dark area. Do you remember the darkest area of the rainforest? That's right, it's the forest floor, isn't it? That's the darkest area. Okay, explain the difference between fauna and flora. What does the word fauna mean? What does the word flora mean? I will give you a clue. We were looking at fauna and flora when we were looking at the different species of animals and plants in the rainforest. Can you write a difference between flora and fauna, please? Pause the video now and off you go. Okay, let's see how you did. So fauna, if you remember, is the animals of a particular region. So all the animals, we could say there was a huge species of fauna in the Amazon rainforest, because that is a region. Whereas flora is the plant life. So if you remember that word flora, it originates from a flower in Latin, doesn't it? So flowers are a type of plant. So fauna is the animals, flora is the plant life. And if you've got an answer similar to that, then you can absolutely tick it as correct. Well done. Okay, I think we're nearing the end. I think we've got one more question after this one, so you've nearly made it. Well done. This one's quite simple, so I'm going to let you do this one yourself. Give 3 examples of animals you might find or you would find in a tropical rainforest. Use our book The Explorer to remind you of some of those animals, okay? Pause the video now and write 3 examples down, please. Okay, I've given more than 3 just because I wanted to give a range just to help you mark your work. You could have had toucan, jaguar, macaw, piranha, monkey, iguana, sloth, tree frog. There are millions of others. So if you've written down something else, you might want to just have a bit of a Google and type into Google, is this animal part of the tropical rainforest? And then it will either say yes or no if you're really unsure, okay? Or maybe your grown-ups can help you at home. And your final question is a bit of a trickier one, because this is asking you to remember what we learned about the adaptations of a plant. I would like you to explain the following 3 adaptations that plants have and how they help them to survive in the rainforest. So you will look at the picture, you will write what adaptation this is, and then you will write how that helps the plant to survive. Now I'm going to give you a second just to remember what they are, and then I'm going to tell you, and that might jog your memory for how they help the plants to survive, okay? So pause the video, have a think, write down if you know, but then if you're really unconfident, unpause the video and we'll go through the names and then you can do the adaptations yourself, okay? Okay, so this is the drip tips of a plant. This is the buttress root, and this is the liana vine. So can you now try and say how they're adapted? So pause the video and off you go. Okay, so the drip tips allow water to run off the leaves quickly without damaging or breaking them. The buttress roots help prevent the tree from falling over, and the lianas climb up the trees and use them as support to reach the sunlight. That is the end of your quiz. Mark your answers and then send them to me, please. Bye.